Hi Aries, welcome to the message you need to hear for February 2020. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below, as well as the recommend a reader shout out, which goes to Ruby Reads Tarot. Love and support to her. Check her out. Show her some love and support. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. Also, this may resonate with yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. Sometimes those readings are different, like someone could specifically do one for your Venus because of different attributes and whatnot, but this is general, so there you go. All right, Ruby. All right, Aries. Ruby, hi, Ruby. All right, Aries. Okay, Aries, what do you need to hear? What does Aries need to hear? Either from your person, from spirit. What do we got going on here? 9 of Pentacles. All right. Hierophant. That could be Taurus. Wheel of Fortune. Death. This could be Scorpio. Okay, 3 out of 4. 4 out of 5. Major Arcana, just saying. Pisces or Cancerian. This could be, or that's High Priestess. Again, the moon featuring Pisces or Cancerian. Wow. That could be, well, that's 8 of Cups. 9 of Wands. All right. So, interesting. There we go. All right. Well, it's 4 out of 7. This has been pretty darn pivotal for you, Aries. So what do we? Why? Is this someone that's just like, okay, well, it's just time for me to move on? Like that's, I mean, we've got the wheel, we got the 8 of Cups here, we've got someone going completely withdrawing. For the Aries that I'm reading for, this is someone, okay, here's where I'm going to get flamed in the comments. The Aries that I'm reading for, it's been kind of up in the air, and you might have been waiting, keeping yourself busy, biding your time, but being patient and waiting for someone to hopefully that they'll come around. And it doesn't look like, it looks like the time has come for them to return or to come back or to make the decision or to answer you about something. And it looks like I don't know. It could go either way. There's been a change. Let's put it that way. There's been a change. What's this Wheel of Fortune about for Aries? This Wheel of Fortune. Aries. 2 of Swords. What's this death card about for Aries? Could be Scorpio. What's this death card about? Aries. King of Cups, that could be Pisces. So we got Pisces or Cancerian. Pisces. Whew, Scorpio. That's a water. What's this High Priestess about? What's this High Priestess about? Aries. All right. What's this 8 of Cups? 8, 9, 10. We got 2 9s. This 8 of Cups. This feels like somebody's made a decision about whether you two are going to progress or not. And it doesn't look like they want to. This is 9. It's almost like, okay, so it'd be like, all right, we're going to take a break, or you know what, I've got this to do, you've got that to do. We're going to end things here. We're going to leave things here. And then in 6 months, let me know how you're doing or something. It's kind of a unique arrangement. Rather unconventional, actually. And this is someone who's reached a decision and would rather just stay the course as far as whatever you two are doing. This is someone that would just rather stay where they're at rather than return and get back together. What's this? It's this 9 of Wands. I mean, it could be that someone's had a change of heart, but it feels, yeah, okay. As I'm saying that, the death card comes out, right? So no, Aries, no. Leave it where it lies. This is not somebody who, they'd rather take their chances on the unknown. I think this is someone who's, over time, their feelings have changed. What's this Hierophant about? Okay. So this quite possibly is someone that just doesn't feel like this is worth working out or sorting out. They'd rather just continue on the path that they're on and see things through that way, whatever. And this is someone that, furthermore, is probably not telling you too much of anything anymore. It's might have well reached the point where they feel like conversation is not productive any longer. I'm talking about like divorce, things like that. This is someone that's just completely withdrawn and is like, okay, it's not even worth it to discuss anything anymore. Let's just handle it through the courts, or let's just deal with like indirectly communicating with each other. They're just not feeling it. They're just, What else for Aries? They need you to know that they feel differently. It's over, and they plan to see this separation through. You're not done yet, and we've got the Justice card here, which is you're not done, but they're done emotionally. So you're still sorting a few things out in separation, but they're done emotionally, and I think they're kind of hoping that you're on the same page too, just so that it could reduce the squabbling or bickering, things like that. But if you are hoping for any kind of reversal or things just being differently, playing out differently, no. What else for Aries? Whoopsie. And I say that definitively because I don't want you to try to negotiate this, because for the Aries that I'm reading for, I think you were still holding out hope. And instead of holding out hope for this, turn that towards your own future or your own progress and your own progression of what you want. Like, look to the future rather than be looking at this person and being like, okay, maybe that's not shaming and judging, saying you shouldn't have been, you should have been. No, but this person, if you've been waiting just because you both agreed to kind of see how things were going to go or whatnot, this is someone who maybe they haven't told you yet, but they are going to see this through, this separation through. They're not interested in reconciling or getting back together. This is someone that's just not, they're emotionally detached, and it's a means to an end. They just want to keep going in the direction that they're going. They don't want to do an about face and try to work this out. They feel better in separation. So if you've been waiting for an answer, let their silence be the answer instead of, or here, right? But I mean, this is general. It's your life. You know your person. But if you're not hearing anything, if there's silence, because we got silence across the board here. We got someone completely withdrawing. That's your answer. If you've been waiting for an answer that you both agreed, okay, at this time, the silence is your answer. If this is somebody that wanted you, they'd be kicking down doors. They'd be, 12:01 midnight, they'd be texting, hi, okay, we said we'd talk again at this date. Here I am. You know what I mean? So this is someone that would rather do things strategically and through a third party than to communicate to you that I feel differently. My feelings have changed. I'm just not into it anymore. I want to continue the separation and go our separate ways because I feel like that's what we should do. I just feel like things are as they should be right now. I don't think it started out like that. I think this was trial, or I think this was like cooler heads need to prevail and let's just kind of separate and see. And I think it's turned into something that they just feel better about, or is like the lesser of the two evils. Okay, I know I can't remember if I shuffled and put this on the bottom or the top or whatnot. Okay. Oopsie. Aries. What else for Aries? Oh, I'm sorry. And to heck with me. I mean, this very well could be someone is like, yes, I do want to work this out. I do want to put an end to me being distant from you. But I feel like you've been waiting, maybe even secretly kind of hoping, and it feels like their time has been spent actually pursuing finalizing the separation rather than doing anything to get back together. What else for Aries? And good for you, because it looks like that you weren't feeling it either, but if they were willing to work it out, you'd be willing to work. Like, let's just kind of see. If you're into it, then we can try. There was the operative word try there, because there's more than you two at stake. But they're not, and it's so much so that they don't even want to communicate that to you, that they'd rather you either just kind of back away because of their non-involvement or because of their silence. It's like waiting you out. They're just going to kind of stay withdrawn and hope you eventually stop. If you've been pursuing or if you've been reaching out. My mind and heart always come back to you. I mean, I could be off, but for some reason, it feels like, I mean, we got the Two of Cups and we've got my mind and heart always come back to you. But it feels like this is someone that's like, we've done our time. It's come to an end. I'd rather just keep going the direction I'm going. I'm very sorry, because these two would be totally endorsing like a reconnection, but this is probably someone that's just like, it has to be this way. I have to do what feels right, and I have to cut things off. I have to just not do this anymore. And you need to give yourself time also to get over this. You both been through it, and I don't think this was easy for you or for your person, but it's about you being able to be first in the relationship, or about being both of you. It needs to be about it being both of you. It's come to that basically there's a love there, but if you're not going to honor my needs, or if it has to be just kind of like where it's always about you first, and it has to be about you first, like if I'm always second or low priority, that's not going to work for either of us. And I can't keep doing that. It's a self-esteem thing. And the time for someone to finally put you first has come and gone, and they still won't. So much so that they're not really being forthcoming about feeling like, I can't. They're not even telling you to your face, really. And you've both been through it. You need to pull away, and you need to heal, and you need to turn your direction towards your future and what you want to do. Enough with kind of waiting for this, or kind of throwing good energy after bad, because this person, for whatever reason, it has to be this way for them. They feel like they need to do the right thing, to follow their gut. They have to listen to themselves. They're not feeling it anymore, and they have to go with that. What else for Aries? It's not even that they can't talk to you, it's that they won't. It's kind of black or white. It's not like someone, they can't find you, they can't find the right words. No, this is someone that says my mind and heart, but where's the words? They're not saying anything to you. Okay, all right. All right, integration. So 2 things. This is about you knowing this and feeling this and acting on it. So it could very well be that logically that, things are as they should be. Like, we're both on different paths. I should not be worrying about this person or thinking about them so much, or kind of holding out hope, quite possibly. And you know that, but you were still secretly worried. This is about kind of having reality meet your heart. And like, okay, yeah, it's a done deal. I just need to accept that, and I need to turn my focus towards my future and moving on. And it also could be this was a huge issue in the relationship, is that you two weren't acting as one. This could have been an affair, and someone was keeping you on the down low and wasn't wanting to change their circumstance at all. They weren't willing to integrate you into their lives. They weren't going to make changes that would make you two be able to be a couple. So it very well could be that this person is going back to their person, and you're kind of like, okay, that doesn't work for me. At this point, it's a self-respect and self-worth issue. And like, I need to not do this anymore. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of having to be over here in the shadows, or, nope. All right. So I think that you know, it's almost like you might have been dealing with this person while they were in separation with their person, and then they decided to go back to their person, and you're like, well, what about you and I? And they're like, I just feel like I need to do this. I feel like I need to do the right thing. That keeps coming up, this feeling of honor or obligation that they feel like they need to do. Maybe that's that whole why it was like, okay, in 6 months, or I mean, maybe it wasn't that you two were separated, it was that they were separated from their person and you two were dealing with each other, and then now they've had a change of heart, like a literal about face, and they've been like, okay, our time has come to an end. I have to go back to my main person. All right. That doesn't feel very good, does it? Two of Cups reversed, because it was like this and I was turned clockwise. Two of Cups reversed and the King of Cups. So yeah, this is someone that has withdrawn their emotion. They're looking at the bigger picture. They're just not into it anymore, and they're like, you know what? I hate that whole. I hate it when they say, you know what, I value our time together and I really appreciate our journey and all that, you know, foo-foo. And I mean, it could very well be authentic and real, but it's just such a cold, distancing thing to say to someone you shared a bed with 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't like the coldness of that, but for the purposes of putting it in concise language here, this is someone that just basically has tried to rise above what you two have emotionally and is withdrawn. They're just not feeling it anymore. And they don't want to invest in it anymore. So this is someone that simply wants to stop doing and trying. And they're all going back to what they know or do, what they've always done. It's just, for whatever reason, they just don't want to try anymore. Could very well be because they're returning back to their person, because we've got a marriage here. I mean, intuitively, it feels like a marriage here. So I am sorry, Aries. I wish this was better news. I hope that you, this is kind of, I don't mean confirmation, but I hope that like you kind of suspected this, because it looks like this person just did it out of the blue. Like it was kind of sudden, and they've really tapered off contact with you, if altogether. And so you're kind of like, oh, I guess they decided to, you know. So I hope this serves as like confirmation in that sense, so you can stop wondering and stop hoping. But I don't like that it had to be this way. But I hope that now that you know, you're able to just be like, okay, well, I need to do the same then. I need to distance myself and just start moving forward for my own benefit, my own future. Because there's nothing you'd be chasing after this person. All right. Which, can I just say that it just bothers me, because it's like my mind and heart always come back to you. I get it, but if you felt that way, then we should be together. It's very simple. You know what I mean? It's not easy, but it's very simple. If you feel like you should be with me, then be with me. If you feel like you should be with them, be with them. But don't do this halfwaysy thing where you're with them, but you're still dealing. That's how you got here in the first place, and that leaves you a bit nowhere, right? And that leaves you kind of having to. It forces your hand to make a decision, because they're just fine, and then here you are being like, well, my self-esteem isn't kind of in the toilet if we keep doing this, so I can't have that. I gotta stop. And it's like they're forcing your hand, instead of them being like, look, I have no intention of ending the situation with my main person, so I'm gonna have my fun with you, but please know that on this date it's ending, and I'm gonna be right back over there. Instead of being like, oh, I wish it could be different. Then do something to make it different. Don't sit there and I wish, because it's like it leaves you out in the cold. You know, okay, I've said my piece, my rant. Shutting up. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, Aries. I hope to see you in the next reading. And good luck with this. And you keep your head up and you just keep moving on. Okay. All right. Love to you in February. You take care.